I think it's recording. I'm not. Oh, it's recording. Hi yo, hey. This is gonna be this video, maybe titled "What I Now Know." Kind of a correction video. Um, Last night I watched a video by Black Magic 33. I think that's a YouTube username of this like hour-long, guy from the streets asking. That's what he does. He asks people questions, certain topics to the Moorish community about um, certain things. And one of the topic is it was titled "Blacks and Relationships." It's not blacks, but And one of the questions was polygamy. So he asked about four people, and that pieced with many of my videos that I made on both my channels about church in the black, dark-skinned Moorish communities. And what I didn't like was the exploitation of women. But today, what I now know, that's why it's titled that. What I now know is that when I went, pick up a few things, and need some crackers, some meat thins, so I got some meat thins. Coming back, my grandma, she goes to church, right? And she is helping. She always drives, people she knows around that either live far or live, that have a lot of stuff to bring. So she helps them. She just like a missionary type of thing. She helps. And I kind of got there at the right time, and I helped the lady. I know the lady, the elder, and I helped her with bags and groceries and stuff that she got from the church up in her apartment building. And she asked me, my grandma then asked me after we were done to go with her to the church and get her some stuff. So I'm like, all right, I go to the church. Sometimes that's my life. I just go out and I have it's the weirdest thing. Like you have a plan or you have things to do, and then you either get to them or you midway get to them or you don't get to them. And so many things, like so many distractions, kind of, but they're not really distractions sometimes. Sometimes they're good things. They're like apple pie from the sky, I think, that lands in your hand. So it's a good thing. But besides that, I go there and I'm standing in the church, and I used to go there when I was a little kid. I used to be dragged there when I was a little kid. The free will for children wasn't acknowledged at a young age, so you didn't have free will until you were like 18 or whatever, right? So I then proceeded to help her. It was 2 bags of stuff, potatoes, onions, and stuff. And what I noticed when I was there, because there wasn't a lot of people in the church, it was just like about 8 members, possibly about eight of them, 7. And what I noticed, I was like, wait a second, hold up, because I've watched a few videos. Is polygamy I think is one woman, a lot of guys. Not a lot of guys like she's a whore, not like that. And polygamy is one guy, multiple wives, right? So it's 2 of them, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, or you can look it up yourself. And what I've watched videos upon was and this is how it is. The thing about it is what I've watched from the video from the Black Magic, a Magi 33 or 333, was that one of the guys who were talking, one of the guys who were approached or whatever, forgot his name, he said that actually polygamy is something that women thought of. It's females crafted that idea. It wasn't a man. It wasn't a man. So I don't know if he meant it as a joke, because he did laugh after, and he did have a little laugh. So I don't know if it's a joke or it's really serious. But it makes sense to me now, because what I now see when I go to these churches where I live, is that there's a lot of females, and the point for that is that that's what women naturally do. And I mean, I've always kind of had that feeling, but I didn't care. It was just like when they were immature, when they were upset or cranky, but just in a negative, stinky, stink mood. I just, not fuck you, woman, but just like you bunch of bitches being annoying and being immature and being relentless and just being, just stresses me out. But calming down me, realized today that more than ever that they are communal creatures, and sometimes they do it in a good light, sometimes they do it in a bad light, but they're communal, and they need to be that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like men don't network the way women network. You don't. Even in this modern day age and way back when, we just did it. We just stick to our trade. We'd be a blacksmith, would be a farmer, but we wouldn't be huddled together drinking tea and, oh my god, yeah, we're gonna farm harm. Like we're not like that. I don't think we're like that. In terms of coming to battle, like war or something serious, like it's like think about football is kind of like the modern day skirmish. Like men get on the the gridiron, they get on the field and they hut and they battle. So men will come together to battle each other together, enemy, they'll come together to battle. But a woman come together for like other things, and it's just like what he was saying, what the guy was saying who mentioned the polygamy being crafted for woman crafted that, is that we came from a matriarchal society. Like we're not, the men having power over the woman is only in certain circumstances, for protection at least. But when it comes to like the other things, like I don't say love, but love and food and other things, women handle from my understanding, what I'm thinking right now is that women handle that. So women do have a specific role. It's just that when in the terms of this modern day era and the churches, they feel good about giving out food, which is what they do. They give out, they're caretakers and they're nurturers, and that's what they do. But I've noticed that because of the patriarchal, there's been a flip. So the men are in charge. So the men is the pastor, and the woman can't be in the pulpit, and the men are in charge. And they've come to accept that, but that's not really truly what it is. Women have way more responsibilities and roles in society than they're given. Women are given 25% of their natural role when they're actually supposed to be doing 75% to 90%. You know what I'm trying to say? And men are doing the rest, but we can't handle it because we're not emotional like that. We're not that emotional. That's why you see guys who get emotional from whatever they do. Like they may be stressed, but they get emotional. Men look, a woman go like, "Oh my God, he a bitch. He a bitch made nigga." Like that's why, because he's taking on the woman's. I think he's taking on the woman's. I'm gonna say grift. I think that's the word. The woman's part of a woman, like a large chunk of the woman's role, and he's being emotional because of that and can't handle it, whatever. So that's what I think when it comes to at least the biochemistry of it. Even though I'm not a biochemist, or I haven't unlocked my inner biochemist, but that's what I think. That's why men get stressed emotionally, because he's taking on a large percentage of the woman's role, but the women don't know they're supposed to be in charge. You know what I'm trying to say? So. And what else I wanted to mention was that the churches, going back to the churches thing, that's their sistren. That's me. That makes a lot of sense. That's their sistren. That's the woman's feminine. That's their sistren. That's where they go to meet up and say, "How are you doing? What's going on?" That's how they commune. And sometimes a lot of these women don't like women. And I think that's something that is kind of like some men would like that. Like some guys like their woman not to air out their business. So in turn, the woman goes, over time, women learn to, I hate women. Women are too much. I can't hang out with women. So the woman that doesn't like the woman are kind of seen more as guys, and the guys go, whoof. She's loyal. But the woman that talk to the other woman, that's what they're naturally supposed to be doing. So I think it's actually in balance when women actually don't like to hang around women. No, I'm not sure. Probably the women they don't like to hang around are the negative type. Like they're chatty, but they're negative. And those women who don't like hanging out, those women probably want to hang around women who are more natural and just relaxed and calm. And like there's different types. I guess there's different types of woman communal circles. There's the one that are just like brats. They're chatty. They're hood rats. They're like they're like I don't know how to put it in word black, but the upper circle of women who are very relaxed, loving, non-judgmental, caring. They do things for the man without the man even have to ask. But they're not slaves to the man. But they're like, hey, I'm playing my role. You're doing a good job, so I'm just rewarding you with a nice beer or whatever. I'm trying to say, a sandwich or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm trying to say? But that's what I realized today. What I know now, today, from that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I used to always look at it and go, because I didn't like the fact that I felt like the woman would be so emotionally broken and shattered through childhood and current problems today that they go to church and they go, please just, they ask the man, which is not really, the pastor, they ask the pastor, the reverend, the bishop, whatever, they ask them to soothe their pain, when them actually the woman in a communal, that communal of woman in the church congregation, they're more powerful than that one individual who has a degree in pastor or degree in being a reverend or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I just find it that it's everything's flipped. Everything's flipped, and I think that's one of the things I've caught today is that because when I would watch the polygamy videos and documentaries and shit, I would see white women and shit. You know, not a white woman, but like Caucasian women, European women and stuff. When I see that, I'm like, it doesn't vibe with me. But to hear, say, brother polite or Muslim or Islam, you know, for them to have multiple wives or to find out that the culture of having multiple wives possibly it descended from Africa or ancient, you know, Kemetic times really goes, it now has me interested in going, oh, okay, now I have a little bit of a relationship between the polygamy thing, because what we see on TV is the Mormon polygamy thing, where it's the where it's the European man, he's Christian, he has suspenders and a weird, that flat hat thing, that weird hat looking thing. Not weird hat looking thing, but it's like a fuck. I don't know how to put it, but it's, you know what type of hat I'm talking about. A farmer's hat, I guess. And it's he has like 6 wives, and they all have their pink dresses on or blue dresses on, and they have glasses on. They have like fucking 38 children and shit, and they live in one giant house, and everybody's Mormon and certain stuff to these churches. Anytime I see something, I don't want to say white, but you know, anytime I see something Caucasian European, it doesn't relate to me. It may be from my descendants, my ancestors, but I don't know that. So same thing when it goes to nudism or nudist or naturist. It's that you have these. I seen a video where there's people in UK or London or Ireland or whatever. They're having, you know, they're it's called not a lounge, a lodge. I think a lodge or like a resort where, you know, people can go and be naked. But once again, they're not my complexion, so I'm looking at them like, go fuck yourself. You know, I like the idea, but I know if I went amongst them, they would go, hi. But I'm not saying they're racist, but it's just when you see people of your complexion, you feel a little bit more comfortable naturally. You know what I'm trying to say? If a tiger sees a tiger, woof. But if a tiger sees a Black Panther, and they take a while for them to get along. I don't know, but you know, I think when I see my people, I don't say my people, but people of my complexion doing nudism, naturism, and polygamy and whatnot, it gives me going, okay, what if, all right, can I talk to these people? Can I meet them one day and try it out? Possibly, I don't know. But I do see I think there isn't an explanation of the cultural benefits of the things we're seeing on TV and out there, social in the society. We're not really getting a full explanation on what it is. We're just thinking to ourselves that, oh, if the Caucasian European people are doing it, then we shouldn't be doing it. When actually probably they got that from us, and they don't even know, and they're not even acknowledging us, and we don't know either. So it's kind of like both parties are confused about what it is that derives from. Because I even made a video 2 videos ago. It's polygamy going back to whatever, and it's a power move. But I think it's natural. But I still remain with that decision that it's a power move to have more than one wife. I'm not saying I support the one wife thing, but for people that look like me, how would I support 3 wives? You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's a really mature activity to be a part of. You have to be really mature and really ready for polygamy. You can't just jump into it. You know, like correct polygamy, not just like, oh, what all happens. The thing about it is, why I'm bringing this all together is that when people think of more than one wife or more than one husband, you think of like a lot of sex, going on. Yes, that naturally, obviously, would happen, you know, logistically, but it's not about that. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. It's where it gets creepy. I would say it gets creepy for just a little input is when you have the husband, the second wife, but then the second husband, like the second in command of the pussy, and then you got like a third wife for that second husband. Like that's where it gets a little bit like whoop whoop. You don't know what's going on. But when it's like one main person and then 5 others branch out of that, and they're all the same gender, then it's like, okay, because like I said, the woman needs to have that communal, that cistern, that you know, woman togetherness. They need that more than men having 5 men in the household and one wife. It's like, what we want to do together besides play Xbox. So that's my little, that's my video on this. What I now know, an explanation of what I've gotten so far, what I've seen in certain videos so far, and it's a little amount of time. But that's what I've discovered today and on the internet. So I'm like, interesting. I'll make a video on it, which I'm doing right now. Trying to think what else is there. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.